What's up, everybody? Welcome back to
Hiya.
Riding the Pine. I am Adam, looking homeless as ever.
And
We
we
got the
don't
man of everything, Sheebs.
have
No Marv. He dead. He dead. We're used to it.
Marv
But
is
for
the
some
Kenny of our show.
Yeah, it's Thursday right now, but for you guys, it is a happy fuck off Friday, the best day of the week. We got the Rams Patriots winding down in the third quarter right now as we do this. So let's do this. It's a weird week, and a week that now has officially made it so the NFL, for the first time ever, has played a game every day of the week. Had the doubleheader Monday and had the Tuesday game. First game came to a surprise for a lot of people. The Steelers finally went down swinging to the Washington football team. And I don't know, Sheeds, how much you saw this game. I watched the whole
I
thing.
watched the whole thing pretty much, yeah.
Cooper Kupp touchdown. Are you fucking kidding me? Cam Akers
That
gets
doesn't sound like Cam Akers or Robert Woods.
No, it doesn't. Fucking Cam Akers gets him all the way down the field. Fuck.
Let me tell you something, man.
Fuck.
The Washington football team has a legitimate chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, because they're playing the NFC East.
Next year, I think they add a quarterback. They
Matt Stafford.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Maybe get another weapon on offense and maybe add like one or two pieces to that defense, and they're going to be a contending team.
Their
defense already is really solid.
And we saw it. Their defense was able to handle, I'd say, a subpar offense.
Montez Sweat's a beast.
Well, their offense was just good enough to get over the hump of the Steelers defense, and everybody knew the Steelers were not going to finish the year 16-0. It wasn't going to happen. They still had the Bills and the Colts coming up, but at least I thought this way. You probably did too, that at least their first loss would be against Buffalo on Sunday night.
Yeah. Me forgetting that Logan Thomas was a quarterback on the Cardinals. Now he's just catching passes for touchdowns as a tight end.
Yeah, Logan Thomas, I took him this week in my regular DraftKings lineup.
Alex Smith looked pretty good too.
Alex Smith did not look too bad. Terry McLaurin was a little quiet in this game, but I mean that's to be expected when it's 1-on-1. You're playing if not the best defense in the league as the number one option. Sims had a couple key drops for Washington. Gibson got hurt early on in the game, so it was pretty much McKissick.
Yeah.
All throughout. And Washington still got it done. Giants fans, after that Seattle win, felt like the division was theirs. And then Washington pulls off the upset of the year.
Let me tell you, though, it's a good thing Marv isn't here because I'm going to say it right now. The Steelers aren't as good as people think. Correct. They have problems.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have problems. They have no running game. They have no running game. They looked very flat on offense just in general. Like, even against a depleted Ravens team, they didn't even play good.
The Steelers were 6.5-point favorites in this game, and it was Washington who ended up covering the favorite spread. They win. No, they'll have points short. They win 23-17. The game right after, Josh Allen put his name right back in the hat of MVP conversation. The Bills,
he looked great.
34-24.
That throw right over Fred Warner's fingertips, like it grazed his fingertips. That was a beautiful throw.
And Fred Warner, one of the best linebackers in the game, and he had a very good game on Monday night. He actually had a ball that he picked at the time, but it was called back, so he could have chalked up an interception into his box score if that call stood. Richard Sherman didn't look so sharp. Cole Beasley and Diggs both had monstrous games. Josh Allen, though, he looked very in control of that offense. Looks like he is the most comfortable he has been in a Bills uniform. And like I said, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, MVP conversation. And if that Bills defense can play to form how they're used to playing, how the fan base is used to seeing that Bills defense. This is a team that's got a real shot to dethrone Kansas City in the AFC. If the offense keeps clicking like this, yeah, chew that foot long in your mouth. Honker that down. It's all right. We got all night, man. Don't choke.
Are you trying to tell me that you don't think Carson Wentz should be in the MVP conversation?
Well, no. Did I mispronounce Jalen Hurts? Which brings us to that officially, Jalen Hurts starting. But we'll get to that when we get to Sunday's games. That's pretty big.
The Cowboys looked like poo.
Yeah, so Tuesday the Ravens did what everyone thought they would do. Andy Dalton, actually, I know the Cowboys are poop, but Andy Dalton doesn't look like he's shitting his pants every time he drops back in the pocket.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a good sign.
I mean, let me tell you something, though. Lamar Jackson, in terms of throwing the football this year, he's wildly inconsistent. Because the first touchdown he threw, I forget who it was to, but it was like not that good of a throw. Like it was really high and like the receiver stumbled and barely got in the end zone. And then he goes and throws a fucking dime to Hollywood Brown in the back corner of the end zone there.
I'm trying to remember who caught that first touchdown.
I'll tell you right now.
It wasn't Duvernay. Not Luke Wilson.
It was Boykin.
Boykin, that's right. Yeah.
Miles Boykin. What a guy.
So, I mean, the Rams have a pull still in the AFC. They're going to be watching closely to that Indy Vegas game. And I think that's going to be a good one. That Chiefs Dolphins game as well is another one that the Ravens are going to keep a close eye on. Cowboy fans and the Cowboys playoff hope's probably gone, and I'm sure that's not a terrible thing to hear. It's either you get this top 5 pick or you go to the playoffs and get smoked, which they still are mathematically able to make the playoffs. It ain't going to happen. So congratulations. Console of season. Cowboys done. Top 5 pick coming your way. Let's get to Sunday, week 14. Week 14.
Huge.
How the hell are we
there? Like last week, there's probably maybe 4 intriguing games. Not that many.
Yeah, we're going to start with one that's not an intriguing game. Texans-Bears. Houston is 1-point favorite. I don't know how it's only a 1-point favorite.
Houston's going to win.
Houston's going to win this game.
I mean, come on. That team stinks. And look at Deshaun Watson's numbers.
Here's the thing, though. David Montgomery, I believe, is going to put up a big game. Houston's run defense is poop, as you would say. It is poop.
Do you think if the Texans had some better pieces around them, Deshaun Watson's hat could be in that MVP conversation? He's in the top 5 in the league in passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 6 picks.
Are you talking about like a Watson like last year when he did have the pieces and the Texans found success and almost reached the AFC Championship game for the first time in franchise history? Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, before Bill O'Brien decided to just give away stuff for nothing.
I digress. I am with you. We've already seen it happen. Either way, though, he's Fullerless. I think Cobb is still banged up. He's basically just got Kenny Stills. You know what, Sheebs?
He's got Brandon Cooks.
He has Brandon Cooks. He's either got Stills or Cobb. Fuller's out. The other of Cobb or Stills is out. I mean, the run game is poop. David Johnson is not what he ever was. Duke Johnson was never anything special. The Bears, though, on the other hand, I don't know, Sheebs. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead with a push. I'm going to change my pick because I think Montgomery is going to have a very big game.
I'm going with Houston.
I'm going to go Chicago, actually, +1. I'll take them with the +1.
Here's a scenario that scares me. That they were talking about on First Take. Look, talk about it more, I guess. Well, I mean, we can talk about it now when we get to the Cowboys. But Dak Prescott.
Oh, Cowboys is next. That's a good segue.
I think Dak Prescott will stay in Dallas, but they were talking about if he were to leave. Wow. And they talked about the 3 destinations that they thought would be best. Washington, Chicago, and San Fran.
Oh, not New England.
Think about him in San Fran. You got Mostert, you got Brandon Ayuk, you got Deebo Samuel, you got George Kittle.
You got a very athletic running back group. Doesn't mean that they're the absolute best, but you could do a lot of things with Mostert.
Decent offensive line. You got a lot of good pieces on that defense.
But Trent Williams is going to be a free agent, remember?
Yeah.
So, Trent Williams is a free agent, so you got to be able to retain him. To whatever Dak does, he has to be protected.
The Bears can't have a good quarterback, okay? I don't want to see the Bears succeed in any capacity. I don't want him to go to Chicago. I'm waiting for Aaron Rodgers to retire. And then Detroit's not going to have anybody. Okay, count Detroit out for probably the next long time, especially if Matthew Stafford leaves.
Their opponents, on the other hand, the Bengals.
The only reason why this is an intriguing game is because Andy Dalton is playing the Bengals. That's the only thing that I can think of.
Exactly. Andy Dalton is playing the Bengals. So I took him on DraftKings. You know why? Because Big Red's going to go in there and carve up the Cincinnati faithful.
Like Dez Bryant was supposed to do?
Yeah. Yeah, Dez Bryant was supposed to, but he never did. I'm going Dallas 3.5. I think it speaks for itself. The Dallas Cowboys may be bad, but the Bengals
are worse.
I'm going to take Dallas 3.5.
If Joe Burrow was playing, I would take the Bengals, but
yeah, I'd make it closer.
He is not.
It would make the Cowboys. A game with a lot of playoff implications next. Chiefs, Dolphins. The Chiefs are very much alive for the 1 seed with that Steelers loss, and the Dolphins are just trying to fin their way in, or whatever the fuck Dolphins do. Jump their way in.
Patrick Mahomes is crazy. Travis Kelce is now in the 99 club in Madden, so that just goes to show you how well he's doing. The guy is the only tight end to have 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons?
Yeah. The thing with Ryan Fitzpatrick is when he plays, Mike Gesicki finds a way to get the ball. When Tua plays, it's like Mike Gesicki is non-existent. So if Tua is in fact starting this game, I think you start by getting the ball to the big man. Devontae Parker hasn't produced a lot. Didn't help getting ejected last game. I think it's going to start with Mike Gesicki for that Dolphins offense this week. You got to beat the Chiefs at their own game, using that tight end over the middle of the field like Gesicki is able to do. He's a very good tight end. You just got to feed him the ball. The Chiefs should be able to win this game. 7 points is just about right. What do you think?
I'm taking the Chiefs, dude. The Chiefs look like the Warriors of football.
It is
on offense. They look just unstoppable on offense. All the weapons they have. Now there's a team that knows how to use their weapons. They have a lot of weapons on offense, and they don't make excuses, and they go out there and they execute their plays. It also helps that you have one of the best quarterbacks the league has seen, best young quarterbacks the league has seen in a while.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think a touchdown is right on. I want to be able to say the Dolphins +7, but I can't do that. Chiefs -7.
The Washington football team did beat the Steelers, so it wouldn't surprise me if the Dolphins defense shows up and they maybe pull off an upset. But
people can say what they want about the Dolphins and who they've played, but they're second in points allowed in the league, just behind the Steelers by 2 points. I think they've allowed 221 points this year.
Yeah.
That's second. That's good for second best in the league. A defense that has been showing up over the past month, I would say,
is the New York Giants.
The New York Giants defense, and another game with playoff implications because the Giants fighting for their NFC life, the Cardinals fighting for a wild card life. They still have a chance in the NFC West. Doesn't look too good, but that 7 seed and 6 seed is still there for the Cardinals takings. They open up at 3-point favorite at MetLife. Danny Jones, doesn't matter if he plays or not, in whatever way you view this game.
I think, obviously, I'm rooting for the Giants. Because
as you would, yeah. That's the time of year we're in, baby. You got to find friends that aren't your friends usually.
Yeah, I mean, not the. I obviously like. I don't have a problem with the Cardinals. I like Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, but I want to see him lose because
It's just like when you guys play the Saints in a couple weeks. Yeah, on Christmas. I'm going to be a Viking fan that day. Unless,
crazy.
it's crazy how that works, but that's the time of year we're in. The Giants have a lot of confidence right now. Also, at the same time, DeAndre Hopkins, neck and back issues. His status for Sunday is a big old question mark. So that would be big. But either way, James Bradbury is a stud. Logan Ryan is Pro Bowl worthy.
I love how too you were saying that James Bradbury was gonna like lock down DK Metcalf and stuff, and that guy just stiff armed the hell out of him. He threw him into the ground. So
one stiff arm, he still only had 50 something yards.
I know, but just like you were like, oh, like he matches up great with size, and there's DK just making him look like a little baby.
But for what happened the rest of the game?
I don't know, man. The Seahawks lost, and
they did, and Bradbury allowed, I think, 6 for 50 something on DK, 6 or 7 catches for, I think, 57 yards. It was in that range. So if Hopkins can go, I still like Bradbury against Hopkins. If he can't, that just makes it more favorable for the Giants. I'm going to take the Giants +3. I don't know if they win the game because it's going to be a very good game. I'll take them +3.
Yeah, I'll take the Giants +3.
I'll take them +3 because the thing is, if you can handle Russ in that offense, you could do the same with Kyler Murray in that Arizona offense.
Yeah.
Next game with playoff implications, bud.
Yeah.
The Tampa Bay Bucks, who have lost 3 out of their last 4, sit at 7-5 and the 6th seed in the NFC, while the Vikings at 6-6, battling with the Cardinals and the Bucks for that matter. If the Vikings win this game, they catapult up a spot. Bucks potentially on the outside looking in if the Cardinals win too. So Sheaves, man, it's a big game. You guys are 6.5-point dogs. That's disrespectful or what?
Dude, I think the Vikings can win this game because you look at a team like the Buccaneers that's just wildly inconsistent throughout the year. They have all these household names on offense, and they just seem to not be able to like get stuff really clicking. You don't know what this year. You don't know which Tom Brady you're gonna get.
Also, Mike Evans was a non-participant today in Bucks practice. Something to keep an eye on, especially for a secondary. I don't know what word to describe it as. Troubled as the Vikings. We'll go with troubled.
They've been playing better. Cam Dantzler has showed up. I mean, he was doing well against, like guys like DJ Shark and stuff. The Jets and the Jags are a good team, but
Shark hasn't done anything over the past month and a half.
They're getting better though, and that's all that matters. Like I feel like the Vikings could be that team right now that peaks at the right time because they're only getting better as the season goes on. Their last 5 games are 4-1.
That's true, but this is a big game. But they haven't been impressively winning games. They've been getting by. And a win is a win, yes, but it's still not like this miraculous turnaround where all of a sudden now they're proven to be a top contender.
Yeah.
It's a big game for them.
They need Justin Jefferson to show up, and I think he's going to have a big game, and so is Adam Thielen. The Bucs secondary is not like something that's going to absolutely wow me.
No, however, the Bucs offense could really defeat you guys early on if your secondary doesn't come up to play. So you say Jefferson has to show up. I'm going to go ahead and say the secondary for the Vikings need to show up.
Yeah, Jeff Gladney needs to show up, and you always have those 2 safeties, and Anthony Harris and Harrison Smith, but they can only do so much. I hope Eric Kendricks is good to go. He was out against the Jags. That'd be huge if he's able to come back and play. He's definitely a leader on that defense, and honestly, the biggest key to the game is going to be that young pass rush getting to Tom Brady, because if you fluster that guy, it's not like he's going to take off on you and run.
No, you're going to force interceptions. You're going to have turnovers coming your way if you get some guys on them, i.e. Carson Wentz. It's like the Scooby-Doo meme where you take Brady's face off under pressure and it's Wentz under.
It's just Carson Wentz. Dalvin Cook, he's got to have a big game too. It's going to be tough. That Bucs D line has, not given up like an overwhelming amount of yards per game.
With that said, I'm going to go ahead and side with Minnesota plus 6.5. I think even if they lose, it'll be a close game.
I'm taking the Vikings to win.
Okay. Your balls are going to ping low. Mine are going to be, a nice respectable.
Gotta ride with my squad,
respectable. Broncos Panthers.
This is the Who Gives a Fuck Bowl.
We got it. This is the Who Gives a Fuck Bowl is right. Carolina -3. I'm gonna ride that train. Although CMC, it doesn't. If he plays, yeah, they're gonna win the game. But
Drew Lock stinks. Okay, 9 touchdowns and 13 picks on the season. I don't know. Still gonna go back to that quote that John Elway had of where he said Drew Lock reminds him a lot of himself. Like, there's no way, dude. You were a number 1 overall pick and you won Super Bowls, and here's Drew Lock just playing like crap. AJ Boy is suspended for PEDs, so that's fun for them, and that's basically all we got for this game. There's nothing really to talk about. Both teams are very mediocre. I just lost Adam, so I guess I'm going to do this for now. Moving on to the Titans and Jaguars. Titans should handle the Jags pretty easily. Derrick Henry shouldn't have a tough time. The Jags defensive line is not what it used to be. Not that it used to be anything outstanding, but they used to have Calais Campbell and Yannick Ngakoue and some other pieces that they just do not have anymore. They're 1-11, and the Titans should take care of this easily. Corey Davis has been playing well. AJ Brown's been playing well. Next game, a very intriguing game. Playoff implications. Colts, Raiders. Now, the thing is here, the Raiders almost lost to the Jets, which is a bit concerning. Anything can happen on any Sunday, but should be a good game. T.Y. Hilton has been coming back into the mix with receiving yards and touchdowns lately. He's been doing better. Phillip Rivers has looked decent throughout the season. And Derek Carr has been playing pretty well despite the Raiders being 7-5, which is, solid. But I don't think Derek Carr is getting enough credit for how well he's actually been. 22 touchdowns, 5 picks, 3,027 yards in the season. Darren Waller has shown up in a big way this year. This guy is an elite tight end. He's very good. He's very fast. He's a mismatch for linebackers for sure. Josh Jacobs, we know what he can do. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm going to take Oakland +3 in this game. Jets, Seahawks. What is there to really say about this game? The Seahawks have struggled a little bit in the past couple weeks. They lost to the Giants last week, but there's no reason why they should have any issues with the Jets. The Jets are just a mess of a franchise. Adam Gase saying, I didn't do enough to develop Sam Darnold. Like, dude, like, you're a terrible coach. You stink. And I don't see this game even being close. Okay. Russell Wilson is going to do Russell Wilson things, and they should take care of him despite how mediocre that defense is. I'm going to take Seattle -13.5. Shouldn't be close. Packers, Lions, we always say in here, divisional games are tough. Divisional games can be tough. So without further ado, Adam Zabrowski is going to be back with us after some technical difficulties. And Adam Zabrowski is going to come back at the absolute perfect time here because we are now at the Packers-Lions game.
We're back. See, look, I came back just when I knew. I wanted just to skip all that other bullshit in between.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is there anything you want to add about the Titans-Jaguars?
Titans-Jags, I mean, if Tennessee doesn't win this game, that's shameful.
Anything you want to add about Colts and Raiders?
Very big game. I think honestly that's going to be the highest scoring game of the weekend. I think both teams might hit the 30s.
I took Oakland +3.
They did not look very good last week, so I'm gonna actually have to go.
I said Oakland. It's the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah,
clearly.
You can't even bet that game. That game is non-existent. No, I'm going Indy -3. I think that's gonna be the highest scoring game of the weekend. So get that over up in there, 2 people.
I still find myself saying the San Diego Chargers, so whatever.
Packers Lions game. I mean, we should be able to handle them by double digits. It's that easy.
But as we all say,
it's the NFL, and division games are the hardest games to win. And I was talking to Mikey.
I'm
taking the Packers 9.5.
Did you text the right number?
I did. It was Mikey. It was definitely Mikey.
It wasn't that lady.
It was not that lady. If it was that lady, she is also an avid gambler and knows football pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and think it's Mikey. There's something about the Packers going to Detroit where they never play as well, and it always seems like they have to come back to win. I think this year's a lot different. We're looking like we're hitting our stride now. The defense is looking better, actually getting to the quarterback. That's about it with this game. Just keep doing what we do, and it shouldn't be a problem. This should be a double-digit win.
There's not really any home field advantage this year, except for the teams that have fans.
But it's that one. It's you walk into the building, and it's like just.
Oh my God. So more technical difficulties from Adam. Spectrum, not sponsored, never will be. It's just that feel. I get it. You walk into a building, just has that presence.
And that's pretty much the Packers going to Detroit. I don't know, man. I think my internet just doesn't.
You just cut out again.
The internet doesn't want me to have it tonight. Moral of the story is Packers are going to win that game, much like the Seahawks are going to beat the Jets.
Yeah, I talked about that game. I took Seattle -13.5. It shouldn't even be close.
I'm actually going to take the Jets +13.5. That's a lot of points to give the Jets offense that is looking better in the Seattle team that is not looking like they did earlier in the year. I like the Jets +13.5.
If the Jets even come remotely close to winning this game, I'm not saying they're going to win, but if they come remotely close to winning this game, like Dygod, I'm going to have to maybe fly down to Tampa to check on them. Because after they lost to the Giants, I was going to have him come on the show and talk about the Seahawks, and he just said, I can't do it. So hopefully the Seahawks should handle them.
The Saints should be able to,
and the Eagles. The Eagles.
Jalen Hurts getting his first career start.
Do you think it's going to be bad?
I don't think it's going to be bad because, like I said last week when we were on Sunday night,
Louis Riddick thinks it's going to be quote unquote ugly.
No, he actually didn't look bad against the Packers. Darnell Savage picked him off once, but it was on a very nice play by Savage. But Jalen Hurts definitely brought a spark.
The Saints defense has been playing well, but I think.
Now, do I think the Eagles are going to be in the game? No, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think that's the fault of Jalen Hurts. I think it's just the fault of the Eagles being a poverty franchise at the moment.
Yeah. They're just a mess, from every level.
So it's Taysom Hill versus Jalen Hurts. The Saints 6.5 favorites. I'm going to roll with that. Taysom Hill versus Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I'm sure when the NFL schedule makers made this game for Week 14, those are the two quarterbacks that were in mind to play the marquee matchup.
Sure.
Falcons Chargers. This, speaking of which, probably had the potential before the season started to be in contention for game of the week. The season has gone down the shitter for both teams, as we know. There's another game that doesn't matter, so I'm going to roll with the Atlanta -2.5.
Yeah, I'll take Atlanta too.
But I do think Herbert's going to carve out.
Now this game. This game kind of matters.
Yeah.
Washington, well, not kind of. It matters for Washington, but low-key matters for the 49ers because they're not totally out of it.
No, every team in the NFC is mathematically still in. There's not a single eliminated team in the NFC. which is nuts this far into the season. Then you look at the AFC and there's only, 10 teams? Yeah, 6 teams eliminated pretty much. So that's pretty nuts.
Alex Smith going to play the 49ers. That's pretty big.
I mean, 2 teams that we saw play on Monday.
He wasn't even doing bad the year that they benched him.
No, he wasn't.
He was playing well, and he just got hurt. And then they're like, wow, now we have this guy that can run the football very fast down the field. And they said, okay, we're going to go with him. Remember Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah.
Remember remember him? He was a good coach for the 49ers, and now he's just a very mediocre coach for Michigan football. He's not a very good coach, actually, it seems at this point. But
not for
and I just don't see Washington losing this game after the momentum they're riding from last week.
Oh, Jarrett Stidham's in the game, by the way, for the Patriots.
I'm guessing Cam Newton didn't get hurt. He's just playing like shit.
Oh, yeah, Cam Newton's been playing like shit all game.
Pretty much all year, but
yep. Nick Mullins hasn't looked bad for the Niners, but
no.
I just think they have too many problems with injuries and COVID that it's kind of like a lost cause already. Even when something for them, something goes wrong. And for that, I'm going to take Washington +3.
Yeah, I'll take Washington too.
And I think they're going to win the game. The Sunday night game, I'm very excited for this game.
This could be game of the year.
Bills are favorites in Buffalo. Imagine if fans were allowed at this game. Let's imagine.
You know how many tables would be broken?
Oh my God, this game would be electric. Sunday Night Football in Buffalo.
You'd have Bills Mafia like lighting terrible towels on fire, and who knows what would happen.
What I do know is that's going to happen is I think the Bills are just going to outscore Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's defense is being figured out. Their offense is nothing special. I think the Bills are going to be able to put up points against the Steelers team, and if it turns into a shootout, I trust the Bills more than I trust the Steelers in a shootout.
I trust Josh Allen right now.
I do. I trust him over Ben.
I trust Stephon Diggs.
When it comes to coaching, it's hard to say I don't trust Sean McDermott. I mean, Mike Tomlin is obviously the more decorated and experienced, but Sean McDermott's a damn good coach.
Yeah, he's done well since he's been with Buffalo.
I'm going to ride Bills -3.
I'm going to take Buffalo as well. They've been playing well. I'm confident in the Bills.
I think they have the weapons. I really do. I mean, the Steelers have the defense, but Cole Beasley has been quietly having a very good year. Diggs is having a noted very good year. Croft is a silent assassin at tight end, as is Knox.
It baffles me that I know the Pro Bowl doesn't really matter that much, blah, blah, but it just baffles me that Stephon Diggs has yet to make a Pro Bowl. Like he put up a couple of like really good seasons with the Vikings, and he did not make the Pro Bowl.
It's a joke, man. Zadarius Smith didn't make it last year. I mean, come on. I'm here.
All right, there you are.
Good, because we're almost done. Just don't do this to me again, Spectrum.
Look, the Monday night game is a very intriguing game.
I'm so excited for this game too.
But
I'm so excited. It's going to be a great game.
The Ravens need to get their shit together if they're going to beat the Browns. Browns look good right now. Baker Mayfield is playing well. At least he did last week. Nick Chubb has been playing well since he came back from his injury. Their defense looks pretty solid, and the Ravens just need to not look mediocre on offense.
You could say it's the Cowboys. You could say it's the Cowboys, but I think they found their identity again and what they're good at.
Yeah, but they need to put up points.
This is a big test for the Browns. This game is a big test for the Browns. They have a lot on their backs right now. If they win, their playoff chances are they're locked in for the first time since 2002. If they lose, it gets interesting, even though they finished Jets and Giants as 2 of their last 3 games.
If they make the playoffs, give Baker Mayfield the statue right now, because Christ.
And
Cleveland's been longing for a playoff berth. Can you imagine? Like, I'm sitting here like, geez, the Vikings have never won a Super Bowl.
But at least you get to the playoffs.
The Browns have literally not made it in almost 2 decades.
Dude, I remember last year when COVID hit, still doing work for WPNR. We had the sports distancing show, and we were talking about the coaching hires, who's going to be the most successful. Right off the rip, I said Kevin Stefanski. I loved Kevin Stefanski as an O coordinator for you guys. I didn't love it, but I mean, on the football spectrum, you look at what he designs and how he utilizes his weapons. I thought Stefanski would make a very good head coach, especially working under somebody like Zimmer. Yeah. And he had all the talent in Cleveland. And this 9-3 record to me isn't surprising. Are the Browns perfect? No, they're like the Steelers, where okay, they're a 9-3 team, but they're not better than the Steelers. But at the same time, it's like that where okay, the Steelers were 11-0, but you knew they weren't an 11-0 team. The Browns for a while could say they're 9-3, but they didn't look like a 9-3 team. The last few weeks, they've looked like a 9-3 team. So this is a big game for them to show why they should be a 10-3 team. If they win this game, I think a lot of the doubters won't say much. And for that, I'm taking them to win the game, not just +2. I like the Browns to win this game. They got a chance to do something that they haven't done since 2007 on Monday.
Yeah.
Let's get 10 wins in a season. The last time they went 10-6, they lost the tiebreaker to the Titans for the 6th seed because the Titans had a better record against common opponents.
Just for giggles, I'm going to take the Ravens -2, just for fun.
All right, there you go. And there we go. That's the Sunday slate. Let's empty the bench real quick before we get going.
We got to talk about how Logan Paul is going to get knocked out by Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, let's go with that. In the world of fighting, Jake Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. I think they said February for that.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, whatever. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Chris Paul. Okay.
Either way, the only thing I have to say about
that Mayweather is knocking him out.
Yeah, Chris Paul when he's in the State Farm fucking commercials. This is just money. This isn't anything to do with fighting. This is a publicity stunt. That's to me what this is. This is not.
I don't know, man. He honestly thinks he probably has a chance to go in there and beat Floyd Mayweather.
I'm sure he does. He wouldn't be doing it if he didn't think so. For me, I think a lot of it has to do about the money. Money's the motivator. So something to look for a few months down the road. And we're going to finish with the Duke Blue Devils.
D-O-O-K, Duke.
Just being Duke and being the little snotty bitches that they are. Coach K loses 2 games at home and says, nope, no more non-conference games.
Dude, he's a fucking pussy because he's the guy at the beginning before the season started and everything. He's like, how could you not play the tournament? He's like, you gotta play the tournament. You gotta have a season.
Is this safe
and then Duke gets embarrassed on national TV. He's like, well, I don't know. We shouldn't be doing this.
This is a prestigious university. Nobody here is gonna get L.
Dude.
Well, now they won't, Coach K. And now you're gonna be a 10 seed come March. I hope so. I hope they don't even make March.
Dude, just why do you gotta be like a fucking bitch? Just do what everybody else is doing. Christ, Jim Boeheim got COVID. He got it.
He got the COVID, yeah.
And he's literally just like, yeah, we just need to have some better protocols. And he's not like, they lost to Rutgers. And he's not like, oh, cancel the season.
Oh, he's chilling.
Syracuse.
But this is Duke. Yeah. Nobody defeats Duke.
Syracuse, that game against Rutgers, it sent me through a roller coaster of emotions. Jim Boeheim, if you ever see this, please recruit a legitimate big man. For God's sake. I know Sidibe was out, but like Christ, we never have a legitimate big man that can dominate the boards and stuff. Chuku wasn't. Dude, like they're taking some doofy shots on offense. They were getting all mixed up in the zone sometimes. They run that 2-3 zone and they're like chasing the ball. There's times with like possessions where they're chasing the ball and they're leaving guys wide open. Like just stay in your zone. And like at one point in like I think it was the first half, Syracuse's offensive rebounds, they had 6 to Rutgers 11. If you're letting a team get double the offensive rebounds as you, you're not going to have a very good chance. And they pulled within 3 points towards the end and then just fell apart in the last like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit of that game before I went to Betty Bye the other night.
Joe Girard had 3 points. 3 points.
Well, after that little rant on Syracuse basketball, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Riding the Pine. This old man's got PT in the morning, so got to get some shut-eye. For Marv from the heavens, for Sheebs right here next to me, I am Adam. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and we'll see you all again on Monday morning.